Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. This is the first time that I will be reviewing a prequel of a book and one of my very favorite authors. It's by Liv Constantine, and the name of the book is called The Making of Jackson Parrish. Now, if any of you have read any of Liv Constantine's thrillers, she writes a lot of really interesting books. I've enjoyed all of them. Of course, like always, there's some I enjoy more than others. But this is the series where it's the last Mrs. Parrish and the next Mrs. Parrish. And a woman named Daphne is married to a guy named Jackson Parrish, okay? They seem like they have the picture-perfect marriage. And she, in the book, Daphne befriends a girl in there, and you find out more about the story. Now, that's in the first book, The Last Mrs. Parrish. Then there's the next Mrs. Parrish. Well, now, Liv Constantine, what she did is she came out with a book of a prequel about the making of Jackson Parrish. I think it's a fantastic idea for a book because many times if you get a certain character, especially if you write two books, okay? So there were two books, The Last Mrs. Parrish, The Next Mrs. Parrish, okay? And then there wasn't any other place that you could really take that book to there really wasn't anywhere else you could go with that book. The story pretty much ended. But we didn't know how did Jackson Parrish, who was, I guess you would say, I don't want to diagnose him with anything, but he was very selfish and was not a kind person, and showed a different side to the people he met in public, we'll just say, okay? Very charming, good looking, and all that, but a different person at home. And always liked to be in control. Well, obviously, how did he get that way? So it kind of went, and I'm going to tell you what I thought of the book, and I'm going to tell you what I kind of would have liked, but it started off with him as more of just after college and things like that, and some of his life experiences, and then he had to work with his father. What was his mother like? His mother seemed to always, want the best for him and kind of like to protect him, was very protective over him and all of that. And you got to hear about some of his other female relationships. And then he went to Greece, and then there was a story about how he got involved with some things there. So basically it was a story about how he became the man that he was today, which was kind of a selfish person that had to shut off emotions and things like that because he always had to be in control. I thought it was overall a very interesting book. I would have liked it if they would have taken it a little bit back to his childhood and maybe seen some examples from his childhood. They didn't do that. They just took it from after college and then went back to a couple college memories. But I would have liked to have heard a little bit more about his childhood. And then I thought, it was a short book because I listened to it as an audio. Most of the audio books that I listen to that are what I call thrillers are anywhere from 7 to 10 hours, okay? That's average. But this book was only 4 hours to listen to. And it went pretty quickly. There was a little part I thought it lagged when he was in Greece. I thought it was getting to lag in that one area. But I thought it was quite interesting. I didn't like it as well as her other books, but because I would have liked to have seen it kind of go through back and forth to his childhood. That's one of the things I like when I listen to a book is when it takes it back to the past and then to the future, which they did a little bit of, but I would have liked to have seen what his entire childhood was like. I would have enjoyed that, but it still was worth reading. I think I would give it a 3.75, 3.50. Usually Liv Constantine I give over a 4.0. I have to say The Senator's Wife is probably one of my favorite books of hers that I liked. I think some of you said you enjoyed that as well, and that was because of a great big twist. Because I love books that have twists. So I definitely think it's worth reading because you get to find out how he ended up being the person he is today. So let me know if any of you read any of Liv Constantine books. The next video I do, I'm going to tell you about my October reading month. And I didn't read as many books as I normally do. That's all I have to say for now. Love you, appreciate you, and see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.